Hey there, good morning class. Can you see me and can you hear me out loud here? I am not in that dreary drawing room anymore. I know most of you must have actually gotten so fed up of remaining in a lockdown as well as looking at videos which have been made in a lockdown. So, enough of those lockdown videos. Let's get back to the outdoors. Well, not literally, but then here we are on the roof. I don't know how much am I able to see, but then the greenery must be visible, the sky must be visible somewhere, and it's just such a relief to be out here and trying to feel that I'm outdoors. And I hope that is the same case with you. Okay, so this is the first of my videos for 9th standard, literally speaking, because we've been doing a lot more of audios and visualizer teaching. But then this is the actual video which I have planned for 9th standard. And no, nothing better than taking it outdoors in the natural surrounding, feeling the breeze on my face, making you feel the breeze out here. It's a lovely, lovely morning. Very, very overcast as such. Expecting rain any moment maybe. But here I am on the roof, not only because I wanted you to feel the greenery, the surrounding, the nature around you, but also because the topic as such is very apt to be here on the roof, feeling the breeze, trying to feel the oncoming shower of rains on me. So, here I introduce the topic to you. It is the poem Rain on the Roof. Rain on the Roof by Coates Kinney. Now, nowhere better to deal with this poem than on the roof of my house, taking you on the roof as well, trying to make you feel how pleasant it feels to be here, trying to smell the rain, trying to just make rain happen to us. How many of you actually remember that poem from nursery KG1 maybe? I hear thunder. So the best line for me when I was a kid was pitter patter rainfall. It was such a pleasant line to keep on repeating after the teacher. Pitter patter. This is what our teacher taught us to do. Pitter patter rainfall. Pitter patter rainfall. I'm wet through. Well, I don't want to get wet right now because I want to complete my video in any case. I am talking about all these moments back from kindergarten because the poem that we are going to deal with is, trying to tell us how lovely it is to hear, to listen to the music of rain. Have you ever tried to concentrate on the sounds that the rain makes? I hope I'm very audible because there are plenty of sounds around here. The honking of horns of the trucks and buses. Right back there is the road which I take to the school, and I'm telling you, I'm really, really missing traveling to school right now in this weather because it used to be one beautiful experience. Crossing all the greenery, crossing the forest of Gondwana and reaching school. It was such a pleasant experience. In any case, we are back on the roof here, trying to relive that, trying to reinvent, recapture that. So the poet of Rain on the Roof, Coates Kinney, is trying to tell us if we ever try to concentrate on the sounds that the rain make, especially the sounds of the rain when the raindrops fall on the window panes, when it falls on the tin roof, the tiled roof of the houses, maybe when it falls in the ponds, on the floor, on the ground, the different kinds of sounds that rain tends to make, and the lovely music that erupts out of it. It is something which is very, very pleasurable, something which has to be treasured on and on, beyond time. So I hope you are ready with Rain on the Roof, and here we go. When the sky is covered with dark clouds and it starts raining, the sky is right now, children, covered with dark, dark clouds all across, and it is about to rain, maybe in a few minutes or maybe in an hour or so. So, have you ever listened to the patter of soft rain on the roof? Have you ever tried to listen to the music that it creates? Please do. If you haven't, kindly, we have enough of time during the lockdown to enjoy the rainy season. Kindly listen to the music that comes when the raindrops fall. And if you have a place, if you have a roof which has a tin over it, or a tile roof, or a wooden roof, then all the more pleasurable because it is going to create a lovely, lovely music. What thoughts flash through your mind as you heard this melody of nature? If you have heard the melody of nature, if you have listened to the music of rain, then what were the thoughts that have crossed through your mind? And then, if you haven't heard it at all, kindly take out the time to do so, and then let me know what kind of thoughts went through your mind. Now we are going to deal with the poem itself. So let's come to the first stanza. It's not a very lengthy poem, it's only three stanzas, and they are beautiful stanzas. The poet has written in a beautiful manner, described in a beautiful manner, what kind of an experience it is for the poet to listen to the music of rain. When the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. What a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. So the poet here says that when the humid shadows hover, now we know what is the meaning of humid, but what are the humid shadows? The humid shadows here refer to the clouds, the dark clouds when they hover in the sky, when they lurk in the sky, when they cross the sky, they accumulate, they surround you all around over all the starry spheres when they encircle, cover the starry spheres. Here, the starry sphere is the sky. So, when the humid shadows, when the clouds cover the sky, they become dark, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. And melancholy, here melancholy is lonely. When the lonely darkness of the sky, when the sky becomes dark and lonely, it appears to be, it is not exactly lonely right now, but then it appears to be dark in color. Why? Because there are dark clouds all across, and it seems that it is going to rain, and it rains in the form of tears. The raindrops fall gently on the earth, gently weeps, gently cries in rainy tears in the form of raindrops. What a bliss to press the pillow. What happiness it gives us to just lie on the bed, press our pillow, lie down and listen to the music of rain. What a bliss to press the pillow. Press the pillow. Now, kindly underline this phrase, press the pillow, the poetic device or the literary device or the figure of speech here is alliteration. Now, why is it alliteration? There's no board and chalk. I have an outdoor shoot happening here. So kindly remember it is alliteration because the sound of P is being repeated. Press the pillow. So the sound of the letter P has been repeated here. That is why the figure of speech or the poetic device used here is alliteration. What a bliss, what happiness it is to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed, of a bed that is lying in a cottage chamber, in a room in a cottage, and lie listening to the patter, and just lie down on the bed, listening to the patter, the pitter patter of the raindrops, of the soft rain which is falling overhead, which is falling on the roof. Now, kindly understand this. Again, we have alliteration. Lie listening. It is alliteration again. Here, the sound of the letter L is being repeated. So the poet in the first stanza is trying to tell us that when dark clouds accumulate in the sky, they cover the sky and make it dark, look very black and lonely. Then the sky weeps, it cries and sends down rainfalls in the form of tears, and it is indeed a pleasurable moment when we just lie down on the bed, take a pillow and lie down on it, trying to listen to the music that the rain creates when it falls gently, making, a musical sound on the roof. Moving on to the second stanza, every tinkle on the shingles. Now, children, just try to uh, enjoy the music that the words produce over here. Every tinkle on the shingles. Now, when we have a word in a line or a sentence which gives us when we can where we can actually listen to that music in the word, where it gives us a musical note or the sound of anything that is produced here. Tinkle, when you listen to the word tinkle, it suddenly brings to mind bells, the bells tinkling. So the word tinkle here, the poetic device that is used here is onomatopoeia. Now, for all the spellings and everything, when we meet for the class, I'll be doing it with you. Kindly remember, it is onomatopoeia, where the sound of anything is produced by a word. So every tinkle on the shingles, shingles are pebbles, stones, round and shiny stones. Every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart. Suddenly when we hear the tinkling of the raindrops when it falls on the pebbles, that sound is reverberated, it is echoed in our hearts. It gives us enough of joy, it gives us such a lot of pleasure, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start. And suddenly everybody leaves aside all their busyness, all their work, and they try to concentrate only on the raindrops falling, trying to listen to the music, and it develops in us, so many fancies, imagination, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start. Again, the phrase busy being is alliteration, where the sound of letter B is being repeated. Into busy being start. And 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof. And 1,000 memories, recollections, when we remember the past, when we remember lovely memories coming from the past, maybe from our childhood, maybe from somewhere, our school days, it can be anything beautiful to remember. And 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof, and they weave their threads, they weave. What is weaving? We have a yarn that is weaved where the cloth is weaved. Just like that, we weave our memories into a woof. Now what is a woof? It is the threads woven across the loom. So we weave it into woof as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. And I hear, see children, it's almost raining. So as I listen to the sound of the raindrops falling on the roof. All right, students, we're back after the rain. So it was almost drizzling here. Now, as the second stanza that tells us to enjoy the music of the raindrops that have fallen, creating a sound of tinkling, as in the tinkling of bells. Every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart. It finds an echo, it reverberates, it echoes in my heart because it brings a lot of happiness and joy, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy bee start. And I, even if I'm a very, very busy person, I'm a busy bee, but I, keep aside all my work, and a lot of imagination runs along the raindrops as I listen to its music. And 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start. And 1,000 recollections and 1,000 memories come back to me, and they weave their air threads into woo. And their threads are air threads because I connect with my memories through air. The wavelengths connect, and they come back to my mind as in, as it is just like weaving a yarn of cloth. Weave their air threads into woof. If you underline this, it can be termed as metaphor, because we're taking memories to be as good as woof. The air threads as the yarn, and the memories as the woof that is connected to our minds. And woof, it's given in the textbook itself, the meaning, the threads woven across the loom of the yarn wherein the cloth is weaved. If you just look up yarn, I'll be sending you pictures as well. The loom yarn where the cloth is weaved. It's a kind of machinery. As I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof, and as I listen, I just, so many memories are brought back, joyful memories, pleasurable memories are brought back to my mind as I listen to this music of the rainfall falling on the roof. Now, the last stanza, and the most important one in the poem, the most poignant one, the most touching one. Now in memory comes my mother. So here the poet remembers her mother. She says that now in my memory comes my mother as she used in years agone, as she used to come in my room in the yesteryears when she was alive. So the mother of the poet is now no more in the world. She has died, she has passed away. And the poet remembers the mother and says, I remember my mother just the time when she used to come into my room, agone, in the past, to regard the and why did she come to the room of the poet? To regard the darling dreamers, to just check on the darling dreamers. Darling dreamers, again, the sound of the letter D is being repeated. So we have alliteration again over here. So the entire poem is, filled with a lot of alliteration. To regard the darling dreamers, and the darling dreamers refer to the poet and the siblings of the poet, the brothers and sisters of the poet. To regard the darling dreamers ere she left them till the dawn. Ere, E-R-E, is Old English for the word before. So please underline and write down before over there. Before she left them till the dawn, before she bid good night to them, before she left them for the night. She slept, obviously, the brothers and sisters slept in a separate room than the mother, and she came to say good night to them. Obviously, we have that habit. Even I go and say good night to my children before I put them to sleep. Even your mother must be doing the same way. So this is what happens. And the poet remembers, particularly this time, when she hears the rainfall falling, she remembers her mother, how she used to come inside the room and bid them good night. To regard the darling dreamers before she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me. So the poet feels nostalgia here. The poet is undergoing nostalgia. She's trying to remember her mother. She's trying to remember all those lovely fond memories that have come back to her. Before she left them till the dawn, oh, I feel her fond look on me, her loving look on me, as I list to this refrain. As I listen, list is the short form of listen, poetic way of saying it. Don't use it in your answers, please. As I list to this refrain, refrain is a repeated a song or a poetic poetry or a stanza of a poem which is repeated again and again. So this refrain here is referred to the sound of the rainfall which is being repeated, the music which is being repeated on the rooftop while the raindrops fall on the roof, and the repeated sound comes to the poet in the form of a musical refrain. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I listen to this refrain of the raindrops falling on the roof. I remember my mother and her loving look on me when she used to come to bid me goodbye, good night. As I listen to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles, and this music which is being played when the raindrops fall on the shingles, fall on the pebbles, on the stones, by the patter of the rain, by the raindrops falling, by the sound of the raindrops falling on the shingles, falling on the roof. So here the poem comes to an end with a very touching piece of memory that the poet experiences and shares with us about the mother coming to his room to say goodnight to the siblings and the poet. And then suddenly, because of the musical element of the rainfall, these memories are brought back into the mind of the poet and it is shared with the readers. And sometimes, even when we listen to such raindrops falling on the roof, falling on the window panes, falling on the shingles or the pebbles outside, we do remember so many different things, maybe from the past, from the childhood days, from the school days, about our friends. It can be about anybody or nothing at all. It's just a pleasant experience of remembering even nothing and everything. So here the poem ends with a very, very touching note, and it's a beautiful piece of poetry written by Coates Skinny, and we are going to look up the poet, who the poet was and the background in just a bit. So till then, enjoy the rain on the roof, everyone. Get on the roof and get some rain. Thank you so much.